friends around the world, welcome to my channel. While you may have noticed that this channel is full of videos with math lessons, today's video is different. Today, it is not about teaching math. It is about you getting to know me in another way. I want to tell you a bit about my early days as a teacher and the experiences that shaped me into the teacher I am today. If I think about it, this is something that I haven't shared much with others, but I think that it is time to do this since there is a lot, good and bad, that I have accumulated over my 2 decades in this profession. I knew that I wanted to become a math teacher since I was in high school. Maybe I should backtrack and tell you a bit about me before high school. I was born in a tiny country in Central America, Nicaragua. I lived there for just the first 8 years of my life. Then my parents decided to move to the neighboring country, Honduras. At the age of 15, my parents decided to take on a long venture to Canada, and I arrived in this beautiful country that I now call home. Over the next decades, I lived and taught at many places in the United States and Canada. I am in beautiful Vancouver now. When I arrived to Canada, I could not speak English at all. All I knew were simple words such as candy, school, good morning. I don't think I could form a simple sentence. Imagine how scary that must feel, especially when you are thrown just like that in a typical urban North American high school without a single friend, and when the culture and language are alien. Every class and daily activity in school was scary and overwhelming, but my math class was the only place where I could find peace and a sense of safety. I know that you may find this odd, but I can explain. See, in every other subject, language was a barrier, but not in math, because I could do math while thinking in Spanish. Mathematical symbols don't change much, and this was the only environment where I felt at ease, where I felt safe. Math always came easy to me, so this became a perfect combination. My math teacher also noticed that I could perform in her class, and I remember her. She was very encouraging. And I wouldn't be surprised if all of this drove me to fall utterly in love with this subject to the point that soon after, I knew deep in my heart that I would become a math teacher. High school started getting easier and more normal in grade 10. I had a good number of friends by then, and I would enjoy helping some of them with math. I would spend a lot of time explaining to them, and I would never get bored. It was instant satisfaction. It was heaven. I could see myself doing this for a long time as a career. And since then, I started seriously thinking about this and structuring my academics with this path in mind. Throughout high school, I did really well in math. I took the most challenging math courses that were offered. I was confident in my math skills, and I felt that I was on top of the world regarding mathematics. I applied to the University of Toronto and decided to major in mathematics in the specialist program. There were 3 levels of introductory math classes at the time in this university. One level was for business, the second for life sciences, a decent and rigorous option. And the third was the brutal one. It was the one for serious studies in mathematics, for the type of student who could eventually become a professional mathematician. But, of course, I didn't know that at the time. As I said earlier, I thought I was mathematically on top of the world. I didn't realize it was all a lie of the local educational system. I would even say a failure, a tremendous failure to us, the locally educated students. I enrolled in the program full of hope and drive, like any new student about to start their university journey. I took the most advanced first-year math course, analysis. This was a calculus course, but different from a typical one. A type of course unknown to most people, especially high school teachers. It was completely a proof-based course where every problem was a proof. Every problem began with prove that, blah, 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 blah. And every theorem was rigorously proved. While all of this sounds great, like a rich educational opportunity, this experience scarred me for life. And it only took a few weeks for that to happen. While this sounds negative, and it was, it also shaped me into the teacher that I am today. And it was the basis of my beliefs of what a strong secondary math education should be. I noticed that most of the students in the class who could follow and fully engage with the material were international students. I still remember how Polish students in the class stood out. This was in the early 90s, shortly after the fall of the Berlin Wall. A lot of students from Eastern Europe came to study in Canada. This was striking to me because the rest of us, the ones who went to the local high schools, struggled and couldn't keep up. And this is a common theme in universities when it comes to mathematics education. It hasn't changed much. According to a recent conversation I had with a math professor at UBC, international students, now from China or India, come much better prepared. There is so much more mathematics that students can learn in our part of the world, and they don't. And the most significant disadvantage is that the typical North American student never learns what a mathematical proof is until they take a serious math course in university. Sadly, often it is too late by then, and many of them give up. And this can be especially discouraging for girls. Yet, this is what real mathematics is about: proofs. There are many reasons why mathematics education in North America lacks rigor and the true essence of what math is, and it doesn't expose students sufficiently to it. One of those reasons is the lack of exposure to mathematical proofs. In a sense, most high school teachers don't even properly understand what that means. Another reason is the constant negative influence of ideologies about what an effective math education is, and that disconnect to higher mathematics. The sad thing is, though, that these are just that, ideologies. They come and go. They are constantly recycled, but they keep confusing and messing everyone up. Educators and sadly students. Administrators often love them, and teachers keep thinking, or are pressured to think, that every new suggestion and method is the one. Then a few years later, another method and suggestion comes about, and change happens again, while students are, in a sense, the guinea pigs of it all. The ones who, in the end, when they go to university, suffer the consequences of being severely underprepared for math courses. Yet, international students are the ones with the true abilities to take the opportunities. Of course, though, by now, this is no longer our, by which I mean high school's problem. Students have gotten their admission, so we feel that we have done our job. It's no longer our problem. For these reasons, After my scarring experience with my first math course in university, the analysis course, I promised myself that I would do everything possible for my students not to experience what I experienced in my first year, for them to find more success and have a smoother transition with their math courses. Two of the things that I promised I would do were to keep my teaching genuine. In future discussions, I will explain exactly what I mean by this, and to introduce them to real mathematical proofs, even though I knew that proofs are typically not part of high school math education anymore. If you think that I'm talking about proving trigonometric identities, then, like most high school teachers, you fall in this erroneous category. Most high school teachers, from my experience, have yet to learn what a mathematical proof truly is. And this is where it becomes evident that they need to understand the true nature of mathematics. If I hadn't taken that analysis course and followed the rest of my academic journey, I would have been similar to most teachers. Nonetheless, I believe that I gained enlightenment, which has made my mission of truly benefiting my students a challenging but fulfilling professional path. In my efforts to provide my students with genuine and rigorous mathematics education, I have faced numerous obstacles, primarily driven by ignorance and harmful ideologies. At times, I contemplate how much simpler things might have been had I pursued a more typical teacher preparation in university. On the other hand, I wouldn't be the teacher I am today and the one I have been over the years, which means that I wouldn't have carved the path for the many students who became professional mathematicians after having me as their high school math teacher, and the many others who went to serious STEM fields. The most valuable thing for me is when former students often tell me how smooth their transition was in their rigorous math courses in university. And see, I am not talking about average universities. I am talking about some of the most selective universities in the United States. This feedback is a testament to the effectiveness of my teaching methods, and it has helped me to measure my success not by my students' performance in my class, but rather by their achievements after they have left my classroom, which is the only success that matters in education. Well, that's a wrap for today, my friends. It's been a pleasure sharing my journey as a high school math teacher with you. I know it's not always easy to confront the challenges we face in our careers, but it's important to do so because our actions as educators have a profound impact on our students' academic preparedness. In future videos, I'll delve into some of the misconceptions surrounding math education and share some of my most effective teaching methods. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more insights from me. Until next time, keep on learning and inspiring others to do the same. Bye for now.